till there's nothing left. On a run to the bed until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I could never switch, not a day in my life. Long as my dogs, they by my side.
Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
There goes 3, check 53. Hey, pick your game up. 26.
Here's the man who's led the league in rushing twice in 3 seasons, Ezekiel Elliott. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. This is Elliott. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Cowboys and Eagles, of course, such a great rivalry. Last year, the Cowboys got the better of the Eagles both times that they met, with Philly coming off their Super Bowl title. But in weeks 10 and 14, it was Dallas beating Philly by a single possession. A first down throw for Prescott. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Fletcher Cox in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
3rd and long for Prescott. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10.
At their own 40-yard line.
The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Here's Miles Sanders, the rookie 2nd rounder from Penn State. Through an opening, and there he goes. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Here's Prescott. And that's going to be intercepted. Malcolm Jenkins, the Pro Bowler. And he'll take this back down inside the 20.
This is such a good read defensively. They know that this offense is going to try to get the ball to their playmaker in space. So what do? They crowd him and send bodies at it. And this one winds up being intercepted.
They'll run. It's Sanders. And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now Wentz. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Deshaun Jackson. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Officially, no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They run with Adrian Peterson, the 2nd active leading rusher in the NFL. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Wentz looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And this is caught by Jackson. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Deshaun Jackson with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
just about to say he had missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line.
The Cowboys take over first and 10 at their own 12-yard line.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his second rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football League. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Nigel Bradham brings him down. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. 10th carry now for Elliott. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. With it is Jackson. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
Solid. 57.
They start the drive with Peterson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
You gonna see me in your nightmares, son. Man, 5-7.
They'll run on first down. It's Sanders. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
It's a second down run with Sanders. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. On third down, it's Sanders. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. On fourth down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
They'll run with Elliott. He finds an opening past the 40. And finally brought down at the 43. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Drop play, Elliott. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Prescott to throw it. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now.
Intended for Ezekiel Elliott. Incomplete. Results in a 4th down.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the 3rd quarter gets underway. This one taken just inside the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
Here we go.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 39-yard line.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Big stop, G. Big stop.
Back to the ground. This time it's Peterson. Adrian Peterson. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Adrian Peterson. His first touchdown on the year. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
The Cowboys take over
We got
1st and
this.
10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9, and it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Prescott now. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Fletcher Cox, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Deshaun Jackson off to the races. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. He goes 52 yards on the punt return as his guys continue to pour it on.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. This is fielded at the goal line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. And
he goes across the 20 to the 22. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
On 3rd down, Elliott. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And this will be down just on the other side of midfield.
We play to win.
First and
Let's
10
go.
at their own 47-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport. The roads would be fairly clear
that is
by the time we have to leave the booth.
That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. They run the counter now. It's Peterson. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Here's Wentz to throw. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A big pickup there for the Eagles' first down, 18 yards. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Wentz on the give to Sanders. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Elliott good with a PAT, and that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. A beautiful fake. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10 at the 9-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
They start on the ground with Elliott. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
He's taken out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Back now in Arlington. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Again, it's Elliott. He'll have a first down and more past the 20. 17 yards on the play there, and the Cowboys have a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it first and 10 now out past the 20. Now Prescott, and to the tight end here, Safarian Jenkins. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. A first down carry by Elliott. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 31-yard line.
Here we go. Wide, ain't it? Here we go. Kill.
They go to Elliott again. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And this will be touchdown across midfield at the 45-yard line.
At their own 45-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Don't be mad. Don't be mad. There's more coming. There's more where it came from.
So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On second down, it's Sanders. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Lefty. Come on, baby. Pilot, 64.
They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
Waiting. Check. Yeah, let's get a sack lunch. Done.
Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee.
Second and 11 at the Cowboys' 16-yard line.
And they will take a knee here.
Wentz on the keeper.
So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Eagles, the win moves them up to 5-2 now on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Meanwhile, for Dallas, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll get an extra week to think about it as the midseason bye might be coming at just the right time. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.